guys, it's Chrissy and welcome to a new video. I just got back from my holidays in America. We went on a road trip from Michigan to LA. It was a 4-week trip, and because we didn't have really good Wi-Fi in all the motels that we were staying at, I wasn't able to post any videos. Now I'm back and I'm gonna be posting a video about my my trip obviously really soon. I think in about a couple of weeks, because this video is gonna be probably so long I'll probably have to cut it in 2 parts. But I'm really excited for you to see that. So today I want to talk a little bit about how I managed to move to a different country and without losing money, which is the most important part. I didn't lose any money by moving to Australia. I lived in Australia for a little bit. I loved it. I am obsessed with this country. I love Australia so much. There's a flag of Australia hanging on my wall. That's how much I love Australia. And there's a koala bear right behind me. So yeah, I love Australia. I had an absolute blast. Right after I was done with my high school in Europe, I decided to move over to Australia for at least a year. I wanted to stay there for 2 years, but I sadly couldn't because I have to go to university. And I just want to tell you a little bit. I just want to tell you a little bit about how, you know, how I did all of the organization things, like how I found my family, how I prepared, how I got my visa, how I booked my plane ticket, if I went with an organization. I just want to tell you all of this because I know there are a lot of people out there that really want to be an au pair or do work and travel or find a normal job in a foreign country. And before I went to Australia, I of course watched some videos as well to get some tips and stuff, and it helped me a lot, and I thought, why not just do it myself? So yeah, today I'm going to be talking about how I organized everything before I actually went to Australia. I'm going to be doing more videos, so you can hear like all about my year abroad in Australia. There were some bad parts as well, like I didn't get along with the family, and I just want to tell you how I managed to leave the family, what I did and whatsoever, and what went down in general. So, but yeah, today I'm just going to be talking about organization, and yeah, so let's get right into it. I already said that, but well, I always knew that I wanted to go to Australia because I've always thought this country is absolutely fascinating. I don't know why, but I love it. I love this country so much. And I'm not sure if I said it in a previous video, but if I had to choose, or if I was able to choose a country where I would want to raise my children at, I don't have any children, but I mean I want to have some someday, one day, whatever, you know what I'm talking about. It would be Australia, where I would want to raise my kids in. So I thought about what I should be doing in Australia, and because I thought since I was just graduating from high school, I didn't have any experiences. Like, I worked with kids, I worked in a radio station and stuff like that, but I was like, you know, I don't have like the knowledge that you need in order to be able to actually work for a radio station, for example. So I thought, why not just do work and travel? And back at the time when I was thinking about going to Australia, I thought work and travel would be awesome, just because, you know, I would get to travel as well as work, and staying at the motel wouldn't be that bad. That's what I thought. And I don't know, I thought it was just gonna be really nice if I didn't have any responsibilities other than to work and travel, like, you know, to have like small jobs and travel through the country. But my family wasn't too happy about my plans, and they asked me if I could just stay here in Europe and just go to uni right away or straight after high school, and I was like, no, I'm not gonna do that. So we talked a little bit further about my plans and what I wanted to do, and then my dad asked me if I could just stay with the family, so be an au pair. And at first I was like, oh, no, not really, but the more I thought about it, I was like, why not? Like, I've already worked with children before in several kindergartens, as well as in the school for students with special needs. So I was already prepared for this job basically. And I would get to live with the family, and I would get food. Some families give you a car, you would get your own room. You might have to share your bathroom with the other family members, depends on how much room they've got for you, but I thought that was actually a pretty good idea. So what I did about 8 months before I actually left Europe to go to Australia, I created a profile on aupairworld.com, and you just have to fill out like an application thing, like form. You have to ask, you have to ask some questions. You have to answer some questions like, when do you want to go over there? Are you okay with any people that are smoking in your host family, or are you a smoker? Do you like animals? And just things like that. And you really have to make sure that you answer all of these questions truthfully. So if you are not okay looking after a kid that has disabilities, so can't walk, is in a wheelchair, and you just have never had the experience, and you just don't feel comfortable about doing it, don't say yes, because you're gonna regret it. And that's just one tip that I thought would be really helpful and important. But anyway, so you have to just basically write everything about yourself, like how much experience you've had in the past, and why you want to go to Australia, or to the country you want to go to, and what you expect of your family and whatsoever. Just like so many questions. After I filled out everything that I had to fill out, the page or the website already gave me or sent me some families that I could talk to, and I did. I think I messaged like 20 families on Au Pair World, but it wasn't really successful. I either didn't get an answer, or I didn't feel like, oh yes, that's a family, and I just wanted to feel this, you know. I just wanted to have the feeling that this family that I was gonna live with for the next how many months, you have to say this to how long you want to stay with the family, by the way. I just didn't want to do that, so I just wanted to have this feeling that it's right, and that I just wanted to be excited, and I knew that I was only going to be excited if I felt comfortable with the family. So what I did, I went onto Facebook, and I joined a lot of groups, like au pair host family groups, all over Australia basically. There was this one page that is for the whole country, like for all Australia. And I of course thought about the places that I wanted to live, and I wanted to live in 3 different places. I wanted to live in Sydney, Perth and Brisbane. And so I just like copied the text from Au Pair World into the Facebook group page for the whole country, as well as Sydney, Perth and Brisbane. And I just waited, and there were a lot of families messaging me, so I think I had about 20 families, 15-20 families that actually messaged me and asked me if I wanted to be their au pair, and then they just usually ask you questions about yourself, and you have to ask them questions, of course, like what do I have to do, what do you expect from me, how long, like how many hours do you want me to work and stuff like that. And you have to be very careful with host families that are just gonna use you, basically. I've had many cases where families messaged me saying, oh, I got the best, biggest deal for you, you will never find such a good deal. And they were like, okay, you're gonna work 40 to 45 hours for us, and we're gonna give you, I think it was like $200 or $250, I can't even remember. And there was another family, they were like, oh yeah, well the first 2 weeks you won't get any money at all, and after that you will get about 150, because we will only need you for like 35-ish hours a week. And you just have to be like really careful, because some families that are out there think they can use au pairs for their own goods. And I don't say that all of the families are like that, but there are families that just use it, just like there's a lot of au pairs that use host families for their money. So you have to be like a little bit careful. But there was this one family, they were from Sydney, South Sydney, and I don't know why, but they just, as soon as we started talking, I felt like we really got along, and there was like, we talked every day. I don't know, it just felt like we've already known each other for a long time, and I thought that was pretty cool. And then we decided to Skype. I got to meet the kids, I got to meet him, my host dad, and my future host mom. And it was absolutely incredible. I had a blast, like we got along so well, we took off, and I don't know, it was just, I just knew that this one was the right family for me. And so we didn't even make it like really official to say, okay, you're my au pair or you're my host family, but we ended up saying, well, like they actually asked me, so when will you be here? And that's how I got my first host family in Sydney. Well, south of Sydney, but still. They actually lived in a beautiful house. It was so beautiful. It was really close to the beach, so whenever I looked out of my window, I just had the beach as my view. The whole upstairs area was my area. They even gave me their car, and my whole family basically actually talked to them as well. So yeah, so as soon as I had my host family, I was just like super happy, super excited whatsoever. So I just wanted to get done with my high school. Before getting my visa, I just wanted to get my plane ticket first, because I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna go for the plane ticket first, because it was really cheap at the time when I wanted to book the plane ticket. So I thought, why not? So I had to stay for my graduation, of course, to receive my diploma. So I left a week later, and I booked my plane ticket, and it felt so good. And then I think it was about a month before I left, I got my visa. And I would always recommend for you to get your visa just about half a month, or like 2 weeks or 4 weeks before you leave your country, just because you just have more time to spend in the country. So that's what I did, and I never regretted it, and it worked perfectly. Everything was amazing, and I paid a total of not even €1,000, so that's pretty good. I thought that was a pretty good deal. Here now to the question, why did I do it myself? Like, why did I organize everything by myself, and why didn't I go with an organization? The reason why I didn't want to go with an organization is, those reasons are only for me, like why I wouldn't, or why I didn't go with an organization, why I didn't feel comfortable going with an organization. Number one, you have to pay money for the organization itself. So and I didn't have the money. I just didn't have enough money to pay for the organization, as well as the visa, as well as my plane ticket and everything else. I just didn't have enough money for that. Number two, I just wanted to find my own future host family myself, because I wanted to feel comfortable with it. I know that organizations are really professional, and that they really help you finding the right fit, but there's always a chance, obviously, that you don't like it, whether you go with an organization or you're not. But I just wanted to not have to deal with this stuff, because I know that if you go with an organization and you don't like your host family, you can't just leave right away. Like, you have to talk to them, you have to talk to the organization. It's a long process, and the chances of actually changing the family it's probably not likely to happen, or it's gonna be like a really long process, like it's gonna be so long. And I know people that went with an organization and had problems with their host family, and because the organization didn't want to get them a new family or couldn't get them a new family for some reasons, I don't know why, they decided to leave the organization and had to pay the money for nothing basically. And I was like, you know what, I don't want to like deal with this. I want to do my own thing. I want to basically be my own boss. And that was really important for me to know that if I didn't get along with the family, I could always leave. Yeah, so that was the reason why I decided not to go with an organization. I mean, I feel like you can organize your own year abroad. My family was so nice and decided to pay the insurance for me, so I didn't have to do that. And I just had to basically pay for my visa and my plane ticket. And I actually bought a one-way ticket to Australia just because I didn't know when I wanted to come back home. I didn't make any any further plans. And I was just so excited. I was so excited. I don't think I did anything else organization-wise. Number one is always you have to decide whether you want to go with an organization or not. And like I said, I decided not to go with an organization just because I felt like it was necessary and I didn't want to pay the money for the organization. Number two, you have to find a host family. The website for you to look for host families are either Au Pair World or Facebook. I just feel like Au Pair World is a really common website. A lot of host families and as well as au pairs are looking for the perfect fit on that website, so I thought why not. So Au Pair World, I would always recommend Au Pair World, and Facebook. Facebook is very important as well because I know a lot of people that found their families on Facebook instead of Au Pair World. So you need your insurance and you need your visa. And I think that's basically all I did and all you have to do. Oh well, yeah, you have to go to the doctors and get your shots. And I didn't like it. Let's just say that. So that's it for today's video. I really hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that I could help you a little bit. If you have any questions regarding anything like organization wise, just ask me. I'm more than happy to answer all of the questions. You can send me emails, private messages, or just comment down below. I'm gonna put the Au Pair World website in the description as well. Yeah, my memory card stopped working again, so yeah, I'm just giving up right now, and that's why I'm filming on my phone. I'm sorry about that, but I really hope that you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give me a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more videos like that, advice videos, travel videos. I'm gonna be doing a lot more travel videos because I love to talk about traveling. I love to travel as well, so yeah. Have a good day and I will see you next time. Bye!